The cream is, of course, milk from the giant sperm whale.
Welcome back to another episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast on Retro WeWatch. We're going to be talking about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I'm sorry. You just about broke me right there. With your stupid fucking mustache.
It looks great.
It looks pretty wild. You heard me, matey.
Yarr! We're going to spend some time under the sea.
Go eat some Krabby Patties. Yarr.
Gotta go fight those. Gotta go fight those giant squids.
/ warships.
I'm a natural harpoonist.
Me too.
Oh,
I can harpoon with the best of them.
I got something to say about the start of this movie.
Yeah, talk to me.
But we'll let you do the intro.
Oh, that's
first.
right.
We got to start over again. Or do we?
No, I think we're going to roll with
Gonna
it.
let me cough and ruin the intro, and that's the
Just
intro?
before I get into the synopsis, I'm just going to put this out there and say, as a master harpoonist, would this role have been better served by Charlton Heston?
You would have been laying some dick.
Well, you know, but no.
Harpoon, if you know what I mean.
Charlton Heston and now I can't
Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas, pretty much the same dude.
Which one was Kirk Douglas?
Kirk Douglas was wearing the rouge.
The Rouge?
Kirk Douglas was the main character of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The guy with the striped shirt.
The striped shirt guy.
The harpoon guy.
Yeah, okay.
You don't know who Kirk
Yeah,
Douglas is?
he's Hollywood royalty, dude.
Okay, great. Cool.
Yeah, Michael,
Just like
Michael Douglas.
yeah, his dad.
Oh, really? Okay.
Fucking hell, are you serious?
No, I didn't know that.
Retire. Fix your
He's-
mustache.
No, I like it.
He's Spartacus.
Oh, he's smart.
I am.
Yes. Literal Hollywood royalty back
I'm
in.
gonna keep
God
doing
damn,
this
dude, you need some wax. Yeah, that's good stuff.
1954.
1950. This is a 1954. Frickin' look at
Got
that.
the Errol
Yeah.
Flynn thing going on.
Damn. All right.
You
Let's
need
get
is
into
a
it.
striped shirt and a harpoon, my guy. I just hand my synopsis over to you.
Let's do it. On today's podcast. Go ahead,
You
Jude. Take
ready?
it away. Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
1954. 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Rated.
20,000.
Sorry, what did I say?
2000.
2K.
Listen.
2K leagues.
Shady Mile.
It's
Been here.
weird. It's weird being sober.
All right, I will start over. 1954, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Rated G with a runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes, which in my opinion is too long.
Yeah, that was a too long.
It really was.
Had a budget of $5 or $9 million, depending on who you ask online.
Kiddish?
So it was a budget of $5 million, but it ran up to $9 million in overages.
Ooh,
So, not-
that's some reshoots.
What do you think this brought in?
Oh man, that's a classic. I don't know. I'm going to say it brought in $45 million. Well, the other one brought in like 60, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh,
This is earlier, though. This is 1954.
10 years
What-
earlier,
how-
right?
what was
or
the
more
budget?
than that.
Budget is 5 or 9.
9.
I'm going to say 19 million.
Okay. Had a budget of $5 or $9 million, depending on who you ask, with a box office bring home of $28 million. So
Nice.
it did some good work.
Right on.
So for some context, $9 million back in 1954 was the equvalent of a $100 million movie.
It looks
What?
like it. Dude, this fucking movie looks so
and
good.
the box office take-in, it was considered a massive success, equates to roughly $322 million.
Yeah.
And this
Pretty
is
good.
not the first remake of this book.
There
I
was
think-
another one before this?
Yeah, I think it was in like
Okay.
1918 or
Thank
something.
you,
Yeah.
because I swear to God, I watched this movie and I'm like, I remember this being in black and white.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen this version.
This is technically a remake.
Okay, yeah, I've seen the black and white one, and I thought this movie was black and white. So when I started watching it, I'm like, did they colorize it? I'm like,
Yeah.
is this like an updated version?
Yeah. How modern.
Right?
Yeah.
Whoa. Anyway,
All
continue.
right, you ready?
Yep.
Here's what this movie is about. A bunch of circus clowns set sail to find and destroy a sea monster and accidentally blow up their own ship when they think a sub is the ocean creature responsible for capsizing ships. Captain Nemo is like, ugh, let's just save these idiots, I guess, and invites the remaining crew members of the warship on an adventure 20,000 leagues deep. Kirk Douglas has got a boner for two things: warships, and treasure. And when Captain Nemo finally has enough of his thieving, escaping shenanigans, he Jack Dawson's him in the brig. Titanic, get it? Keeping him out of the way when the giant squid shows up just in time for the master harpooner to once again escape, but this time redeem himself to the captain and crew for about 3 seconds until he drives Nemo to suicide and escapes in a dinghy. Please discuss.
At the very beginning of this movie,
Yeah.
when we're in San Francisco.
Oh, the Frisco?
Down in San Francisco.
When everybody calls it Frisco in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get back to Frisco.
I
see?
kept
Down
on-
to Frisco.
I kept on expecting to see some Chinese guys come in and, you know, do some really cool kung fu stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a warrior.
They were all in Saigon, and you can't get there.
This is 2 years before the stuff happens in the Warrior show that we watch.
Like, this happens in 1870 something?
18.
Oh, and then the warrior stuff is 1876.
Yeah, this is like, I think it was.
Worlds colliding.
So I just
would've been
thought
dope.
it was funny. It's like, hey, that doesn't look nothing like the San Francisco show I used to watch.
Where the fuck is Penny?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's
Where'd she
Penny?
go?
Well, you know what's funny about that opening scene? So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there are no women in this movie.
As it should be.
Except for the two hose that are on his arms
Where
when he
are,
comes out.
where are these women kept on a woman on a
the
boat?
sea gives us everything we need.
Listen.
We don't need any sandwiches.
Everybody knows that it's bad luck to bring a woman on board.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't bring women on board boats.
I'm
Come on now.
selling the shit out of this.
Yeah.
So basically, that San Francisco scene didn't exist in the original draft of the movie. And when Kirk Douglas came on, he was really concerned about his image. So he's like, I want to be introduced with 2 chicks
At the same time.
and I want to do a fight. And
Yeah.
they were like, okay, Kirk Douglas,
Whatever you want.
whatever
Kirk
you want.
Douglas.
Yeah. and so like that entire scene was only because Kirk Douglas wanted to look manlier.
Drowned dead. The swallow it on top of his tall yacht.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Taking a selfie, sorry.
You were really infatuated with that. That's funny.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get you
Dr.
some
Target.
beard
Okay,
wax.
there's 2 things that our friend, our resident smart person, Dr. Target, wants to say. One, fun fact: the sea is only typically 1 league deep, which is about 3 miles.
True. Pause.
The
Okay.
20,000 is actually the distance that they travel in the movie.
The circumference
Yes.
around
Yeah.
Earth.
It's not about
twice.
It's not about how deep they go. It's
Yeah.
about how far they travel.
Yeah,
in
so
terms of,
20,000
like,
leagues is actually twice around the Earth.
Is that
Yeah.
really? Oh, wow, cool. And the second thing that he wants to say is that it's seaman, not sea woman. So tough shit, women.
I would also like to touch on what they were eating.
Yeah,
And
the
some
cuisine.
of it was semen.
It's come entirely from my ocean kitchen. There is nothing here of the earth. Flavor deceives you. It is fillet of sea snake.
Land. Here's this food here that we got from the ocean. Here's cucumber juice and what's like sea cucumbers and this and that. Whatever.
Yeah, that pudding. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's made from whale sperm.
The cream is, of course, milk from the giant sperm whale.
Sperm whale
whale,
stuff.
sperm whale, penis worm, whale, sperm.
and he's just like,
Egg of whale, sperm, penis,
Eat your pudding, Mr. Land.
God, that's not what it was.
fillet, sperm whale,
they
sperm.
melt a sperm whale.
Oh,
It was a G-rated Disney movie.
Not anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Well, speaking of Disney, Walt Disney himself produced this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
And he gave his own semen for the dinner
You're
scene.
making it so fucking dirty, Jude. What is going on? Yeah.
So one of the interesting things about this movie is the guy who directed it. His name is Richard Fleischer. Does that name sound familiar to any of you guys?
Nope.
So Richard Fleischer, he was well known as being like a very kind of like prominent director during this time. Like he's made a ton of movies. He crossed over many genres. He's not only responsible for Fantastic Journey and Dr. Dolittle, but he also directed Conan the Destroyer and Red Sonja.
Ooh.
But what's interesting about him is that he's actually the son of Max Fleischer, who was the animation pioneer who did like Betty Boop and Popeye and
Betty
the original
Boop.
Superman cartoons. And he was actually Walt Disney's most bitter rival.
Fun fact: Kadish wanted to be Popeye when he was growing up, and I wanted to be Betty Boop.
And so when
And
Disney
now we're married
and I can't get a word in edgewise.
for the rest of his life.
When Disney came to Richard Fleischer to hire him to do this movie, Richard Fleischer was like, "You know who my dad is, right?"
Oh.
And Disney was like, "Yeah, I don't care. It's just like you seem to be the best director for this job." And so Richard Fleischer had to go to his dad and be like, "Hey, Dad, are you cool with me working with your most bitter rival?" And Max Fleischer gave him his blessing. But the one time that they all sat down to dinner to meet, Richard Fleischer just constantly under his breath was like, "That son of a bitch, I hate this guy." So it was a very awkward, kind of like weird meeting. But this movie,
Old school dudes and their egos.
yeah, this movie was actually kind of like the Avatar of its time. It was the most expensive movie that had ever been made. Had very advanced special effects and stuff like that. And I'm surprised that it's not more in like the cultural consciousness because it was a big movie for its time and it made a ton of money when it was released.
I've never liked this movie.
What?
No, I even
mean, it's
when
not a good movie.
No, even when I was a little kid, this is like one of those movies. It's like, okay, we're gonna have a community movie night down at the youth center, and everybody's gonna show up and buy a raffle ticket and watch a dumb Disney movie. And this is the kind of movie they would show, and it was weird.
I'm offended.
Well, okay, be offended, but it just
This was your pick, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I like this movie.
yeah. It's I guess I imprinted weird emotions with this movie.
It's like
And-
2G for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
just
sissy
it's
movie.
it's just a dumb Disney movie, and and again, I can't quite figure out what it's about. There's more.
There's a moral
there's
to it. I
more
mean,
humans are pieces of shit
it's
message
essentially
again.
the same message as
It's Planet of the Apes. Yeah, it's like humans
Yeah,
are going to
humans
ruin
suck,
the
we
world,
ruin
and blah,
everything.
blah, blah,
And we ignore,
like-
honestly, we ignore 70% of the earth.
Oh yeah, still
Is covered in
in-
water, and we don't freaking talk about it. We don't spend any money exploring it.
Yeah,
we
but
don't care.
there's a reason we don't like get into the ocean is because we don't want to eat sea cucumber semen.
Yeah.
What is it?
Sote of unborn octopus.
And that's you know
But
regardless
there's
of how
shit
much
down
of it
there
is.
that we have no idea about.
Yeah,
And and
Sea spiders.
the farther down you go, the bigger things get.
Also, I was upset when they started bringing in the turtles because I was like, those turtles don't want to be there.
Those turtles were real, and this movie didn't give a shit.
And
They were like, "Come here, turtle."
that was
yeah,
upsetting.
and that was
Yeah.
the other thing that was really weird about this movie is like they would like intersperse it with these cutscenes from like nature documentaries. You know what I'm saying? It was, oh, there's a whale breaching.
That fake shark was hilarious.
You know,
Did you see
it's
the
just-
fake shark, and then
yeah,
like they cut
yeah,
it with
yeah.
like a real shark a couple times.
And it's like I know they were limited by the technology and stuff back then, but it's like clearly they're in weird suits
Actually-
in a swimming pool. You know,
Can I talk about that for a minute
sure.
though? Because I was thoroughly impressed by not only when this movie was made, but like when at that time they've got these dudes in these like steampunky cool underwater outfits, and they're doing full scenes down there. I was like, wow, I was surprised. I thought it was going to be some shitty like blue filter they're going to throw over something.
I felt like we were just. I thought the scenes that were cut in were weird. It's like right now, we're doing a podcast right now. We're filming this thing, and we could be sitting here, and I could go, "Hey, look, there's a shark breaching over there." Right, and so you know.
oh, and then one of you goes,
So it could just that's what I feel like it was just weirdly edited together.
Maybe, but
and
I
with the same
but
old
of
humans
its
suck
time,
thing.
it
And
was innovative.
I thought I was thoroughly impressed with what they did with some of these scenes, and I love the sets, the
set design in this movie was next level.
Oh, it was so
cool.
It's like when you hear about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, it's the images of inside the Nautilus that come to mind from this movie.
Oh, dude, it's so cool looking. All the gadgets. It's very steampunky. I'm like, oh, this is where. And
Yeah.
so like the inspiration for like the steampunk thing obviously comes from this movie plus a bunch of other. I'm sorry, what's the author's name of this book?
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne stuff. He's very he kind of.
Well, what's interesting about this movie is that so when Disney first decided that he wanted to adapt 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea into a film, it was originally going to be animated. And so the guy he hired to do all like the conceptual art and stuff like that, started designing like the interior sets and things of that nature. And then he went to Walt Disney and he was like, dude, I think this needs to be a live action movie. And he showed him like all of the stuff that he was designing. And Disney was like, you know what, you're right. And so that was where they started like actually spending money on it. So it was originally going to be animated, but then this guy who made all these incredible designs, he wasn't union. And so like he didn't get any awards or recognition or anything like that. Because he was a lowly animator.
Lowly animator.
But this movie has inspired so many things that I recognize, like the steampunk version, the
Never-ending Story.
the Nautilus, Never-ending Story.
Yeah.
What's that from? What do you mean? What part of it is the Never-ending Story?
The whole beginning when he's like goes into the bookstore and he's like, yeah, I've read this, I've read this, I've read this. I love Jules Verne and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And that is what makes the bookstore owner okay with him delving into the Never-ending Story. Because he said he had read that.
Oh, I don't remember.
Sorry,
I haven't seen that movie.
Nothing to do with the actual movie.
No,
the source material.
But how it has affected other things is...
There was a scene when they were running away from the natives on the island. Which
was hilarious.
Hilarious, but it was ripped. I mean, it wasn't ripped.
No.
The
Pirates ripped it.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean ripped 100%. This 100%.
Well, what's funny about that, and I'm glad that you clocked in on that because I was going to mention it. At a certain point, Disney was going to do a remake of this movie, and they hired McG, the director McG, to do it. And so that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean was originally plotted and storyboarded for the remake of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
No way.
And when the movie didn't go forward, the Pirates team co-opted it for their movie. They were like, we already spent all this money on the development of this scene.
Yeah.
Can you guys shoehorn it into the Pirates of the Caribbean? They were like, yeah, we got it.
It works. Yeah, it worked. I liked it. Yeah, it was like immediately I'm watching this, like, oh, that's from that movie, and oh, that's from that thing. And then the animated Atlantis movie, the Nautilus, is almost picture perfect.
Yeah.
Ripped from the animated Atlantis movie from this movie.
Would you go on an adventure in the Nautilus?
Hell yes. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I still kind of want to be a marine biologist. I'm not even joking.
No puns?
No puns intended.
I wanted to be an
That ship has
archaeologist.
You want to be Indiana Jones?
I did.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I wanted to be Captain Nemo.
Would love to watch the live footage of you doing that. Honestly, it sounds like an epic adventure. Then it sounds also very scary.
I would just be out there like, let's go.
You'll have a staff.
Oh, yeah.
Not for any reason, just
peg
because
leg.
it looks cool. Peg leg, yeah.
Peg leg.
Parrot.
Yeah, parrot,
Yeah.
eye patch, the whole deal.
All
You'd
of
probably
it.
just cut your leg off on
A
purpose so you
blue
can have a
beard.
peg
Kind
leg.
of might.
I want you to have a blue beard.
A blue beard?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about lighting the tips on fire so I could light my grenades and then throw them, you know? Like
At aliens?
I picked the wrong
Because now
week.
it's invasion.
I picked the wrong week to not drink. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what's happening over there.
Yeah. Grumpy Matt.
I'm not grumpy. I'm not grumpy at all.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
I'm sitting here watching you fuck with
It's,
your beard.
it's
can't
less
help it.
I
It's
love
so
you
Quit
guys.
touching
Matt.
it. You're just fucking your oils up in your whiskers. Gotta get you some beard.
I'm gonna get you some
beard
paste.
wax.
I've got paste. I've got wax at home. I'm good.
But we need a studio paste. For when you
Man, you got the
decide,
paste?
when you decide you're pirate, Alex,
Yeah.
we need the studio paste. Bring out the studio paste.
Let me tell you something about this movie.
Bring out the Frugelheim.
I don't know what is wrong with you guys. I love this movie. I had so much fun watching
It was funny. I turned to Jude when we were watching this, and I was like, "This was an Alex pick."
Oh,
This
yeah.
is-
First of all,
fun.
we
Because
didn't
it-
really watch this.
it embodies Alex's taste, where it's like
Yeah.
he loves this movie
Dinosaurs.
for all the reasons
In
that
the
everyone
ocean.
else is just
Yeah,
bored
probably.
and hates it.
Yeah.
The adventure.
That's it. I was really bored.
Okay, it's a
watching
bit
this
long.
movie.
It's a bit. I will admit, it
It's
gets
very
slow.
long.
The pacing needs to be adjusted for modern audiences. Sure.
If this movie had ended when Master Harpooner had harpooned it, it would have been a very nice, concise movie.
reconcile.
That is not what they did.
Yeah, it should have ended with him saving Captain Nemo and then Captain Nemo going, maybe you're not so bad after all.
Yeah.
And then them being like,
However, Kirk Douglas is a massive asshole this entire movie.
You know what? I think Captain Nemo is a dickhead.
Really? I'm on Captain Nemo's side.
I'm not. No.
Yeah,
he captured them and then wouldn't let them leave after they were like, hey, can we get off? And they're like, no.
Immediately, I was like, sounds like a trap. Maybe you need to see the paperwork. And they were like, how can we help? Yes, we'd love to go on this voyage with you. I was like, it's a trap.
Yeah, this guy hoodwinked them into being prisoners.
But you're going in a sub.
I would take that offer.
You're going in a sub.
If a sub-captain pops
under
up
the water.
and is like...
You don't just get to get off.
Hey, let me,
honestly,
okay.
You know what? Enjoy yourself. Get off here. Have fun imploding.
They go to other places all the time. He could have easily dropped them off when they were done with the adventure, but he was being selfish and was like, "No, if you get off, you're going to tell people about me.
Yeah,
I can't let that happen."
It wasn't selfish. Like it was basically like his operation was supposed to be secret, and so it was either kill them or keep them as prisoners, and he chose to keep them as prisoners. What's interesting about this movie is that it's actually a fairly faithful adaptation of the book, because the book was published kind of like most books were in that time, where it was like published in magazines and then compiled into a book. And so it was very kind of episodic in the sense that, like, you know, Captain Nemo's submarine would go to like a different place and they'd have like a different adventure, and they would just keep going until like, you know, the end of the book. But this movie actually like went so far as to like kill off Captain Nemo, whereas in the books it was like ambiguous. And then he wrote a sequel to it.
Isn't there a sequel or prequel movie out there to this? Because I could have swore to God that I've seen a movie.
You're talking about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
No, with the same actor that plays Nemo
in this movie
with the Nautilus. But maybe I'm insane and dreamed it. I don't know.
Is it the Mandela effect? Was it a different universe you were watching?
Is it
Matrix, man.
Mysterious Island? That Quantum
So
Cat
is that it?
The sequel to the book is called Mysterious Island. I don't know if they ever actually like made a movie version of that or not. But the Captain Nemo in this version like very clearly died.
He gets shot and he dies. Yeah.
And then he explodes himself.
Mysterious Island. Okay, that must be it.
I love the aesthetic of this movie. I love the Nautilus. I love the lore behind it.
Stupid the sailors are.
Oh, they have to be super
stupid. Oh, yeah.
They're like, we're going to go out and find a monster. Is that a monster? How dare you say that's a monster? There are no such things as monsters. It's definitely a monster. Let's explode it. Oh, shit. It's a submarine. Men have only dreamed of things.
Yeah, but
And scene. That's the whole movie. That's the entire movie.
Yeah.
I like it. I like this movie.
It's not a terrible movie. It's just kind of boring.
I liked it up until I saw that, because I was waiting for that squid.
Yeah.
I was
right?
I was waiting for that squid.
Yeah.
I love a giant squid. If
Giant
you put
squid
a
was
giant
great.
squid in a movie, I will go see it.
Again, I was thoroughly impressed with the practical effects in this movie when it came to that giant squid.
Love the squid. Love the...
Yeah, the chomper.
Yeah, the chomper.
It all looked great.
Love the squid. Love that whole scene. And then Kirk Douglas breaks out of his brig.
He's got the thing, and he's holding it on top.
And he's harpooning.
He's the master
and we
harpooner.
think all is forgiven. And then the movie goes on for another like fucking 45 minutes. And I'm like, we don't need this.
Yeah, true.
We don't
Fair
need
enough.
this.
Fair enough.
We need to be reminded that he's an asshole.
That Captain Nemo's a psychopath.
He is a psychopath. 100%.
They're on a secret fucking mission, and he's like chucking bottles of help me messages out, and he gets them all killed.
He's trying to get off.
Sometimes I try to get off too, and I don't take anyone else with me.
You should probably take some people with you.
Sometimes it's more fun.
Print on you while I haunt the air. That's from our last episode. You won't get it if you didn't
Sometimes
watch.
you just need to get yourself off. Have some special alone time.
Well, what's funny about the big squid scene, which was in the trailer, kind of like promoted as like the big climax of the movie. So first of all, in the book, it was multiple giant squids that attacked the Nautilus.
I like the book better already.
They could only get one, and they originally shot the scene in like calm waters, like during the day, and the director wasn't happy with it, and he went to Walt Disney. He was like, "Man, this doesn't look good. I'd like to reshoot it, but I can't figure out like the best way to do it." And Disney was like, "Why don't you do it during a storm? It'll hide the wires better." And he was like, "Oh, and can we do it at night?" And Disney was like, "Okay." And so like
Walt Disney was like, "Listen, I hate people, and I would love it if all of you died.
Go out
so
into a storm at
go
night.
do whatever." If it works out for me, great. And if you all die, also great.
It was obviously in a water tank, but the whole kind of like scene was like completely reshot, which I think is one of the reasons why the budget went up. But that was obviously probably like the most fun scene in this movie.
I just connected the dots as to why I love playing Subnautica so much.
Yeah, I could have told you that a while ago.
Didn't even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Subnautica is one of my favorite video games ever.
You like movies with boats and submarines.
I do.
Sahara, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Boats and hose.
Yeah.
Hey, Hunt for October.
Hunt for October.
Hunt for October.
Great movie.
It is.
Yeah, I love under the water stuff. I love that the Bond movie where he goes to the underwater. What was that one? Thunderdome or something like that. I think was it called? Was when they had the underwater base.
Moonraker?
No,
It wasn't underwater. That was a volcano.
Moonraker.
What?
It was a different one.
I think that was Dr. No, wasn't it?
Was it Dr. No?
I don't know.
Possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got the white submarine car.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
I remember that one.
What's interesting is the actor who played, what's his name?
Nemo.
Captain Nemo. Was Sam Neill's acting mentor.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you just lost him.
Explode under the table.
I love this movie even more.
Ahead slow.
Water entry of small objects.
Sonar boys.
Battle stations.
I had a great time. I loved watching it. I was so impressed with the practical effects and the set design and the underwater scenes. I was like, these guys do underwater right now? This is crazy. I didn't even know they could do that back then. This is nuts. There's like a freaking camera on there.
In terms of technology, so like this was in Technicolor, which was like the 3-color process, right?
Ooh, Technicolor.
And that was another point.
But I think all of the underwater stuff was black and white, right?
No. It was in color.
It was?
Yeah, it was like a post-production process of color. But Max Fleischer had an even like bigger like kind of like sticking point with that because he was over at Paramount doing his thing, and Paramount wouldn't splurge for the 3-color Technicolor. He only ever got 2-color Technicolor, and so he was like, that fucker Disney with his 3 colors. But what's interesting about this movie is that it was shot using an anamorphic widescreen lens, because at the time, you know, widescreen was like a new thing. It was like the 3D, the IMAX like experience, right? And there was only one lens in existence that was an anamorphic widescreen lens, and so Disney had to rent it from Fox that owned it, because Bausch and Lomb, which was responsible for making it, was like backed up and wasn't able to like produce more of these things. So they only had one lens that they could shoot the movie with. And if you notice in the movie, there's never any close-ups. And that's because, they only had like this widescreen, wide-angle lens. So everything is like wide shot, medium shot. But in addition to that, they had to shoot like, there were no second units on this because they only had like the one lens. And so they had to shoot everything with like the same crew. And that's why it took longer to shoot this movie and to do everything, because they only had like that one widescreen lens that would allow them to get like the same kind of cinema scope.
That's cool.
How long was the production?
I don't know.
Well, they went like $4 million over budget. So I would live on the Nautilus. Hell, I would sail the 7 seas. That thing looks awesome. It looks like that big open window, and he pulls the lever, and it like has the iris that opens
Just
up.
be eating whale pudding.
Eat your pudding, Mr. Land.
God, that'd be so freaking cool.
Cucumber semen.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's fine.
Good stuff.
Those guys look healthy.
Those guys looked healthy.
They looked like they were doing
All
fine.
of the other cuisine, I was like, yeah, it's seafood. Yeah, that's seafood.
Look, how about some crab?
The sperm of the whale sperm.
How about
sperm
some-
penis sperm?
How about some shrimp?
The cream is, of course, milk from the giant sperm whale.
Shrimps.
I was like,
Yeah, they got shrimp.
you called it pudding, though. It's just you disguised it in sugar.
Are you,
And then
are you,
didn't
are you
tell
enjoying
him-
your
you
pudding,
didn't-
sir?
You did not tell him it was cum until after he ate it. And I think consent is everything.
I need no cum.
Dude, Kirk Douglas was so overacting in this movie.
Well,
He
yeah,
was
well, I mean,
terrible in it.
He had clown rouge on the whole time.
Well,
I don't know what that means. Like his makeup? What do you mean?
His rosy cheeks.
I
Yeah,
didn't notice that.
Like Ronald McDonald circles of rouge.
Really? I didn't notice.
You
Maybe
know,
he's just really drunk the whole time.
In the song midway through.
That was a bit. That was like, oh,
I
this is
feel
a
like
Disney
that was
movie.
just a thing of the time. They were
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
where are we going to put the song? We need a song.
Everybody needs a song and
Yeah,
dance.
according to my tattoo.
Yeah.
Well,
I fast forwarded.
what was
Fair
funny,
enough.
What was funny about his character is every time he was on screen, I kept getting reminded of Popeye. And I was like, are they like,
Yar.
are they specifically kind of like channeling Popeye
He
here?
didn't play Popeye, did he?
No, he didn't. But Robert Fleischer, the guy who directed the movie, his dad invented Popeye, basically. You know,
It's probably some subliminal stuff, you know? Like, probably didn't even
Well,
mean to.
he's a sailor.
He's a sailor.
So-
Every sailor looks like Popeye.
Yeah. Well,
You know
if you're
what?
a man and you're a sailor, you're a Popeye. Or you want to be.
What I needed
be
more of,
Popeye.
what I wanted more of in this movie was the crew getting in and out of the dinghy.
Shove
Still had not solved the mystery of Captain Nemo.
Because, man, that dinghy is in this movie a lot.
That dinghy was the main character.
It was
in
the
this
main
They
movie.
had to
character.
get off
Yeah.
the Nautilus and go on land.
Had to go in that little slot
That
that's
little-
made,
it's
the little dinghy
perfectly made.
slot right under the
Just stays right
That was
there.
a well-made ship.
It's a really good ship.
Yeah.
It looks like a
the
fish.
dinghy, man. It was in like half the movie.
Yes, it was.
And
Yes,
it really
was.
moves fast for a bathtub with orbs. Getting away from those natives with their catamarans.
Dude,
and-
those
and their
motherfuckers were
canoes.
moving. Did you see how fast they were going? Everybody there were like, let's go,
And they had their own
kid.
ships.
But they can't catch a dinghy with
was-
2 oars.
These idiots are exploring the beach and they're like, oh, look at this deserted island.
As
Wow.
long as we don't
And then
go past that tripwire, we'll be fine.
3
Let's go
feet-
past that tripwire.
3 feet offshore
Yeah.
is just an army of
Yeah.
dudes with boats that are like 20 feet long.
Where were those
Where
boats?
were those the whole time?
Yeah.
Is there a dock?
They just hit
The
them really
fucking
well.
army was just like lying in wait
Yeah.
with the boats on their shoulders,
Yeah.
like we're gonna get these fuckers.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole scene on the island was quite funny, but also Pirates of the Caribbean ripped off almost the entire thing.
Yeah,
So that totally makes sense.
There just wasn't the giant thing he was like running on.
Yeah, oh yeah, the big
Yeah,
wheel.
the wheel,
God,
yeah.
that was so overblown. That movie's fun too.
The dinghy, though, very important.
Dinghy, very
This
important
movie
dinghy.
wishes they did a giant wheel.
Okay, question. Is there like an in canon explanation for what Captain Nemo uses to power his submarine?
Power of the sun.
Watching this movie, I was assuming it was nuclear.
That's what I assumed.
Nuclear?
He figured it
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
He's not sharing the
But
technology.
they didn't know what to call it in the 1800s.
Well, of course they did. Oh, in the 1800s, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
when the book was written. So they were like, oh, it's the power of the sun.
So in the original book, it was battery powered. The Nautilus was battery powered, kind of like a Tesla type
Yeah.
thing. But in the movie, it was nuclear powered.
I
Okay.
think it was Waterworld.
Some of that
So
dirt.
did he nuke his own island then?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He nuked his island.
for
Yeah.
sure.
It wasn't just like a normal explosion. It was
Yeah,
like,
because
it's
Kirk Douglas is a dick.
Pretty big
maybe
explosion.
Nemo's kind of a psycho.
Well, maybe Nemo just wanted his own thing. And he saved the life of this fucking dickhead in stripes. And that dickhead was just like, I'm not gonna follow the rules. I'm my own man. I'm a master harpooner. I fuck chicks.
He's a
I
rebel.
like treasure.
He's a rebel.
Oh shit, a warship.
He's a rebel. He's a rebel who also happened to save a lot of
He
people's
should have
lives.
let Kirk Douglas die and then just gone on his own adventure and had his life.
Is that what you would have done? You just would have killed your prisoners?
In my movie, I'd kill people.
Like, well, I'm glad you guys had fun.
You seem very cute. I don't like that you're wearing stripes. That's my thing. Dead.
Well, what's interesting about Captain Nemo? So in Latin, Nemo means no one. So technically, it's Captain No One. And his backstory, which we learn throughout the course of the movie, is that he had a wife and child, and a unknown government basically like tortured and murdered them and sent him into exile. And he's like basically getting revenge by doing what it is he's doing, like terrorizing the seas. And
He's
in,
not terrorizing the seas. He's living off of the seas
No.
and creating
No,
his
he's-
own
he's
existence.
Killing people.
Yeah,
he's
he's sinking
sinking all those
ships.
ships because humans suck. And he's like, these people don't belong here. Rah.
But
Well,
also,
He's a psychopath. Absolutely.
in the original book, so
I
Jules,
would hook up with him.
Jules Verne wanted to basically have Captain Nemo be Polish, and the government or that basically killed his wife and child was going to be the Russians. And at the time, his publisher was like, "Dude, this is way too politically
Yeah.
charged because like we're allies with Russia, like the French were and stuff like that." And so they were like, can you like just dial it back and make it like more ambiguous? And so in the book, like we never get Captain Nemo's full backstory, and we also never find out what the mysterious government was. But in the sequel, Mysterious Island, Jules Verne made Captain Nemo in East Indian. And also very clearly spelled out like who the evil government was that killed his family. I forget who.
It's probably the British.
Maybe.
Damn colonizers.
But that's why in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Captain Nemo is like an Indian guy and stuff like that.
That's book accurate. Yeah. All right. Well, I love this movie. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I had a great time.
4 stars?
Yeah, I had a great time. I was thoroughly impressed the whole time. It was a little slow, granted, but it's of its age. So I was
When
like,
was the last time you watched it? Between then and now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
Like I said,
Long time?
I thought it was in black and white.
Okay.
So maybe I saw another one, and then I've seen bits of this
Did you just
one.
watch the original? Was this a first watch for you?
It might have been.
Really?
But I can't say for sure.
Okay.
Because I'm like,
It was Alex's first.
maybe.
Maybe.
I feel like my dad's probably shown me this movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I've never seen it before, because I probably have, but I just don't remember it. But
Okay.
I had a great time. Awesome. What about you?
I didn't like this movie.
Have you seen this before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one of those movies, like I said, I put on the shelf with other weird Disney movies that I used to watch, that I was forced to watch when I was a kid. It's like are we gonna do fucking Apple Dumpling Gang for the next retro WeWatch? I will protest the fuck out of it. But these are just those kind of movies, cheesy Disney movies that I know that I just wasn't into. I feel like I feel like they did a bad job at just telling us yet another story about what pieces of shit human beings are, and it's just. And I thought the editing was weird. I just didn't enjoy this. It was too long.
Okay.
I thought Kirk Douglas was wasted in this movie.
I mean, he probably was a little wasted.
Yeah,
So are we right now. Well, I am.
Well,
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Great. I'm like in a 2-star area.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So I just I found myself futzing around with my phone when I was watching this, and that's never a good sign. So
All right, Jude, how many tentacles did you give this movie?
First of all, how dare you speak of my tentacles? So I had never seen any version of this movie before.
Oh,
Also,
wow.
I know I'm the book nerd on the podcast, and I've never read this. So I didn't know what I was getting into. This was a story that I thought I knew based on just people talking about stuff and other references to it. And I know this has been like the source material for a lot of other content that we've watched. And so I thought I knew what I was getting into, and I did not. And I was a little disappointed because what I thought I was going to get was a deep sea adventure full of monsters, just entirely in a submarine. And we were just like navigating through, like what I thought I was going to get with the Meg.
Yeah. There needs to be a movie like that.
Yeah.
Is there one?
I feel like I have been consistently disappointed by deep sea monsters.
Like The Abyss, maybe?
I loved the giant squid.
Yeah, it was great.
Best part. I feel like I would have liked more of the squid. I don't necessarily want the squid to have died, and I know in the book there were more squids, and I'm into that. Maybe I need to become a mer person. Yeah, this wasn't what I thought I was going to get in.
Okay,
get
fair
into.
enough. I get it.
I would have really liked more deep sea adventures. Every time they went down into the sub, and they were like traversing the sea floor, and even the fight with the shark, and when they found the treasure, like all of that stuff was really cool and really interesting to me. And then all of this, just the stuff on the ship where Kirk Douglas was like, I'm gonna make friends with
making
this
his stupid little banjo guitar
and
thing.
yeah, the fucking I'm gonna make a song for this seal and like steal the treasure, and like Captain Nemo being like, who gives a shit about gold? It's about survival, and it's about like making your own world. And I was like, yeah, fucking Nemo, I'm with you. It's not what I thought I was gonna get. Half of the movie was great for me.
I do own this movie. Okay.
Oh, good for you.
The book. I do own the book.
Oh, good.
On Audible.
Okay.
I'm like, I swear to God, I've
Maybe
listened to
I'll
it.
like it better on Audible.
Maybe.
But so half of the movie I was super into. Like we watched it separately this week because we were really busy. And he like walked through the room when I had started. I was like maybe at, I don't know, like 20 minutes in. And he was like, "Oh, you're having a great time." And then like 3/4 in, I was like, this is just fucking unending.
Jude was literally yelling at the screen.
I was like,
Roll credits.
okay, so when they first saw the sub that they were like, it's a monster. I was like, literally, it's a sub. You could just tell.
They didn't know what subs were.
I mean,
But they boarded it. They were like, what is it? Is it a monster? I was like, it literally looks like part of a bridge right there. And I was like, you guys are so stupid. And like the movie had to make the sailors all dumb for the movie to make sense.
Fair.
And I was like, okay, well, I can't root for them because they're idiots. And then when Captain Nemo was like, I guess we'll save those ones because they're the strongest of, and I was like, fine. I feel like you're going to regret that. And then I was like, yeah, you regret that now, right? You could have just lived your life and not had to die. So I guess I'm working it out as I'm talking about it.
I can see that. Yeah. This review is unending.
It's just like the movie.
Yeah.
Pick a fucking number.
You said you liked the movie. Do you not like my review of it?
2 stars? 3 stars? What? Something in the middle?
Look, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I abstain. I thought I was on a podcast where I was allowed to speak. Critic list.
She's the woman. Let's just finish
Pick a number. Come on, woman. 3, 4, 5. It's really not
I'll
hard.
let my husband speak for me. It's fucking 2 stars.
2 stars.
There we go.
Fucking job.
Yay, 2 stars. High 5. Get the fuck out of here.
Sometimes people like to listen to me. When's lunch?
As soon as you shut up.
You know, when Jude's drunk and Peter's sober, this podcast is something
work.
totally
It
different.
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh, you got snot coming out your nose.
I'm sorry. It's so funny.
I didn't like it.
Kadish. What's your review? What's your rating?
Oh, I'm with Jude and Matt on this one. This was long, boring, bloated. Doesn't age well. Songs were stupid. Kirk Douglas.
Wait, there were songs?
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, I don't know.
There were no women in it. Kirk Douglas was overacting.
Too much makeup.
Too much makeup. This is a 2 whale puddings out of 5. For me.
Eat your pudding, Mr. Land.
I ain't sure it's pudding.
Well put, babe.
I don't disagree with anything you guys said. But I like this movie.
You're just defending your pick. I get it.
I like this movie, but I don't disagree with anything you guys said. It's all fair. I forgot what Jude said because she talked too long.
Yeah, well, it came out of a woman who has a vagina, so who listens to that?
Nobody else remembers either.
It's a bad look. It's bad luck to bring a woman on board. Who brought this woman on board this podcast?
You have to form a woman out of the treasure that you steal from the bottom of the ocean, but that's the only woman that can come on
You know,
board.
Yoko has married him now. The next step is the breakup.
Oh,
The Beatles are going to get broke up pretty soon.
Are we going down the Beatles?
We're going down the
Yeah,
Beatles
I hate to tell you guys this, but you end up with me, not him. He's gonna go do his own thing. He's John Lennon.
Oh shit!
That makes me a Ringo.
I was going to say Vader's Ringo.
Yeah, good fucking luck.
Yeah. He had a good life.
You disrespecting fucks.
Well, he's one of the only
You're
ones
stuck
still
with
alive.
me.
Well, all right. On that note, thanks for watching, guys. We got one more retro WeWatch to do.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's some.
Mine.
It's Jude's. What did you pick?
Viva Las Vegas.
You did the Elvis
Yeah.
movie. That's right, because that fits into the sci-fi category.
Christ
It's all
almighty.
good.
No.
I'm joking.
Fuck off. First of all, you know what?
Not a nerd movie.
You don't even get me when we break up.
We're probably gonna
You
have the
just
most
get
fun.
you.
We're
You
prob-
just get you.
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna kill him.
It's okay, baby. Whatever you want to do. Thank you very much.
So we're gonna do an Elvis movie next week.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing a lot of this.
Come
next
on,
week.
it's gonna be fun.
Bring some costumes. Come on, guys.
Some sideburns.
With some sideburns, some pop collars, some big old glasses. I'm talking 70s
Some
Elvis.
hips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
know, I know
I'm
that,
gonna bring
right?
my red hair.
Listen, I know karate, all
And
right? Just look
Margaret.
out, man, all right?
Yeah.
I'm the king, all right? You know what I'm saying?
Red hair and karate chops.
Got you.
All next week.
But as everyone's waiting for our Elvis review, they should go check out our Planet of the Apes review for
Yeah.
Retro WeWatch.
Yeah.
It's out there, too. And also, wedding singer reviews floating around there in the ether when I
And
get that
also
done.
the Patreon content of us talking about our wedding.
Ooh, good stuff. We had a great time. Thanks for showing up for the live stream. If you saw the wedding live stream, this is like 3 weeks out. But yeah, thanks for being there.
Yeah.
And scene. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this review. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to support us on Patreon. Go to saltynerdclub.com or join up on our YouTube membership area where you can help buy me some beard wax so I can go pirating. I look good. All right.
Yeah. It's good luck.
I hate being sober.
On that note, we're out of here. Stay salty. Ye mateys.
Yar.
Eat your pudding, Mr. Land.
I ain't sure it's pudding.